As you can see, we're running early, but the first challenge statement that will be presented is progress monitoring for cabinet installation. This challenge statement is owned by Leong Holding Limited and their subsidiary company King Hut Construction Private Limited. Starting with King Hut Construction, they hope to further digitize the current process to monitor the progress for cabinet installation for medium to large residential and hospitality projects. The process is still very much reliant on pen and paper method, which does not allow data to be captured and utilized in its full potential. Once this solution is proven for cabinet installation, we believe that this solution can be adapted for other SME type contractors dealing with interior and finishing works. More details will be shared by the challenge statement owners. And with that, I would like to introduce our first challenge statement owner, Tessa Quet, manager from Leong Holding Limited, to share more about her challenge statement.
Hi, Zipang, I need you to allow me to share my video.
Okay. All right. Give me a moment.
Sure. Hello.
Okay.
Hi. Okay. Thanks. I guess I'll just start. So, thanks for the sort of brief introduction. My name is Tessa. I actually represent Leong Holdings, which is a developer in Singapore. And also am representing today one of our subsidiaries, which is King Hut Construction. And basically, they do cabinetry and sort of interior design works. Today, we're looking for solutions providers that can help us rethink how we can be more efficient in monitoring the progress of cabinet installation. Next slide, please. Yeah, so just a little bit of background on how, on the process of cabinet installation. As mentioned before, King Hut supplies and installs cabinets in various residential projects in Singapore. And this is done in stages. So what happens is King Hut's workers will kind of come in and install the cabinets in stages. So for example, the carcass first, and then they'll install the carcass for all the units. And then the next step will be perhaps like the shelving, and then the shelving for all the units, and then the doors, and so on and so forth. And following this installation, King Hut's supervisor will actually go onto site to check on the work progress. And it will be, this progress is manually jotted down on the chart that you see on the right of the screen. And it's done in pen and paper, as Zipang mentioned previously. And then following this, it's actually brought back to the office for an admin staff to transpose it digitally. And this digital copy is then used for a summary report that will be sent to the claims department. And following this, the claims department will send the summary report to the main con or the developer to basically ask for claims. But before the claims can come in, there's one further step where the quantity surveyor, otherwise known as the QS, will actually need to use this summary report to go back down to site and then verify the amount of work done so as to approve the claims. So as you can tell, this process is extremely manual. There are many steps involved and there's a lot of duplication of work. And it's also sort of limited by the availability and schedule of the QS. So for example, if the QS is unable to visit all the units in the project and verify all the work that has been done, it's actually quite likely that they will approve a lower claim amount. Yeah, next slide, please. Yeah, so based on this scenario, we believe that digitization can actually help make this process more efficient. We're looking for a solution that will allow us and actually any contractor for that matter to input such data directly, and this will cut down on administrative work greatly. It will also allow users to collect and organize new types of data. And actually, in fact, as we can tell from COVID-19, maybe some QS can be done remotely if there's a need for it. And this can be done so with photos or videos that can be uploaded onto the platform. And we also believe that this real-time dashboard reporting can actually help us, again, and any other contractor to better plan their manpower and material needs. And we believe that this solution can be done in a simple and cost-effective method, and it can actually be applicable to not just the use of cabinet suppliers and installers, but also any, for example, like an interior design or for flooring or other contractors. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's listed below. Next slide, please. Yeah, so these are just some of the preferred technical specs that we have. I won't really go into detail because they're not absolute must-haves for us. Based on the solution that you provide and based on our discussions, we are actually open to this being tweaked. Next slide. Yeah, so just overall, through the digitization of this process and more real-time efficient monitoring of work, we just believe that overall it will be efficient for our company and also the construction and other contractors in the industry. Yeah, that's it. Thank you for your time.
Yep, thank you so much, Tessa. Now we would like to invite Mr. William and Mr. Leong to turn on your videos and mic also. Participants that is joining us today, please submit your questions at the bottom panel. You will see a Q&A button. Yeah, and then by clicking on it, you will be able to submit questions. Yep. So Tessa, maybe let me just ask the first question.
Sure.
You mentioned that currently, could you share more about how the current process is being done? How is the data being collected currently? Just to share more on the process of collecting the data.
Maybe I get William to share.
Hi everyone. So now it's done very manually. So a template for the installation progress will be given to the site supervisor. So they have to go to every single unit to jot down wherever installation being done by ticking the box that we have already do up a proper template for them. So after this is done weekly, after that they will just bring the whole manual copy, the hard copy back to our project admin. So our project admin will just key into the computer to generate out the report, to pass it to management for review, and also to the contracts department at end of the month for a progress claim submission. Yeah. Currently, it's done very manually.
Yeah. And I guess like the supervisor really visits every unit to look at, like for example, this week we are installing the carcass, then the supervisor will go down to see has it been installed correctly, stuff like that.
Yeah. They have to go through every stage because for a set of kitchen cabinets, you don't install one whole sets together. It just break into different parts as we are doing a mass production business. So first stage, like for example, carcass for maybe 50 to 100 units, then followed by shelf. So it's a progressive installation ways, and it's being claimed accordingly to what we have installed.
All right. Thank you so much for answering that. So we have received two questions. The first question is about how to apply for the BEAMP program. Just for all our online audience, please note that we will be only addressing the program-related questions towards the end of the session, which we are going more in detail on how you could apply for the program and other important information. So the next question I received from Chris Low is what, in your opinion, is the most critical problem or pain point that impacts productivity with the solution you seek?
So I think we just had a quick discussion. I think the two biggest pain points actually is first is the duplication of work. So how the supervisor first ticks on the paper and then after that the admin staff needs to transpose this
Correct.
into a digital copy. And then it will then again go back to the QS to verify again. So like there's a lot of a lot of verification.
Yeah.
I mean, which is fair enough. I mean, of course, it's important to verify, but there are ways to sort of remove the duplication of work and make it more efficient. And then also there's the issue of the QS,
Correct.
where maybe you can share an experience that where like the QS like made a lower claim or something because
they have to go to, with this manual claims submitted, they have to go to every single unit that we have claimed for to verify that the work is being done according to our claim, or is there any fluctuation or not. So it's quite a manual task currently we are facing.
So like in a way, like you could say that sometimes our cash flow is affected by how much claim the QS,
claims,
like the lower claim. So for example, we might project like X amount to come in, but actually it becomes lower because the QS is unable to verify the actual claim. That's about it.
Yep. So the next question is from Michelle Yo. She's asking how many data input personas are there. At the moment, I hear 3: supervisor, QS, and account. I think what we need your help with is to clarify who exactly is using the solution, because there's different stages to this entire process.
Okay, so for this solution, supervisors is the first stage that will use this this new implementation, because they are the front line who brings back the correct information to the HQ. So we have a platform like this, when the supervisor starts to update inside the web apps or the new application, so from the QS at HQ, they can access the platform and see the data that being updated by the site supervisor, cutting down all the manual work previously. So the people involved is basically the site supervisor and my QS contracts department. And for external, this information can be transferred to the QS consultant, which is on the developer side or the main contractor side, or even the client or the main contractor can access the platform to look at the updated progress of the works that being done. You see, I hope that this is a platform that can be shared by a lot of users.
Okay, thank you. So there's sorry, do you have anything to add on?
So at the end of the day, the system have to cater to type of the user, the internal user as well as the external party.
Okay, so there's a follow-up question from Michelle Yo. She's asking whether there's currently any usage of IoT in the existing work process.
Internet of Things.
I believe that for the current system, in terms of technology, we are actually looking at certainly a mobile platform, because we need to use a camera to identify the progress. Okay, that is a proof of the progress. Besides this, I think it's only we are looking at web access from the PC from the user. Besides these two devices, so far, I don't think that we have planned for any additional devices, but however, if there's any proposal, we are welcome for your suggestion.
The next question is from Kao Tan. He asks whether that you mentioned new types of data being used. Would 360 imaging be of interest in terms of completeness and speed of capture? Also, if we create a virtual space for the QS to remotely inspect? Would it be useful?
I'm looking at for this system. I think it's as efficient as possible, and also the supervisor who take the picture may not be very IT savvy. So the system has to be as simple, as straightforward as possible. It's not so much for marketing or for whatever, so that I don't think that we need to have the 360 images for this application. Yeah.
I guess to answer the question, it would be a nice to have, but we would have to think about other components like the usability of the platform and also the cost of implementing something like a 360 video or a virtual space. Yeah. That's a good question. Yeah.
We have 1 minute left, and I will just take 2 more questions. Next question is from John Lin. Does the execution has a design plan schedule and subsequently supervisor to validate on site via checklist and phone, I believe? Do you have a plan?
Do you have a plan?
What kind of not sure what kind of planner.
Yeah.
I believe that before actually executing, right, you really have a schedule in place to really determine whether you're doing this job this time.
Yeah. So I believe based on our discussion, please feel free to chime in. I think there is a planned schedule, but it's always subject to
site availability.
Site availability, like overall, like what's the big picture? Yeah. So for example, like we might have all the materials on site, delivered on site already, but then because
site is not ready for installation or this.
Yeah. So it's subject to I mean, yes, we have a plan, but it's subject to the actual work that is
being carried out. The trade before us have to be finished first. All this.
Yeah.
Okay. The next question is from Putra from Database. Are there any integrations? Is there any integration required with existing systems? Do you have a digital tool that will be able to integrate?
A new system. There's no.
Currently, for this project, no, we are not looking into it.
Yeah.
But like what? Maybe perhaps in future, but not for the time being.
Yeah, I mean, for now it's a pilot, but in the spirit of innovation, I think we're open to hearing any kind of solutions that you guys might have that are proposing. Yeah.
Okay. We have a few more questions, but we would like to proceed to the next challenge statement sharing. We will address your questions offline.
Actually,
so
or maybe Zipeng, I can also answer. I can type the answer out, I suppose.
Yep. That will be helpful too.
Okay.
That's great.
Thank you so much.